What's up, guys? It's McNulty here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all getting along okay and having a good War of Three Kingdoms. Now, we have a new hero, featured hero in the Covenant Summon, and it's another one of the Construct heroes. So I want to go ahead and have a look at Tenebrae today and see whether this cyborg-looking hero is any good. So first of all, she just looks incredible. I'm pretty sure it's female. Just look at it, but it's definitely some kind of female slash robot humanoid thing. So, she is of the sorcerer class, which gives her the chance to delay. Pretty good defensive class, as I've mentioned before. And she is part of the construct family. So she has the construct core. Her construct core is a corrosive core, which means that enemies receive corrosive poison damage for 3 turns when the fully charged corrosive core is triggered, or whenever the corrosive core is triggered. It deals up to 183 poison damage and lowers the target's mana generation by 13% each turn, and that will last for a total of 3 turns. So the corrosive core is actually quite an effective one. We've seen it with Ferris. He hits like an absolute truck, and that poison damage is just kind of a bonus on top of what he already does. So yeah, it should probably be the same for this hero, but we'll see. Yeah, I am a fan of the art, by the way. It does look like an insanely cool hero. The more I look at her, the more I'm liking her. The attack up ether talent, so at the start of the battle she gets an additional 20% attack for 6 turns, is a pretty good talent. And if we do switch the max power preview off just for a second, just insane huge attack stat. I'm kind of getting bored of saying that, but it really is. 1007 on the attack is just humongous. 949 on the defense, again, really great. And 1586 on the health, so not a huge deal to write home about on the health, but a total team power of 965. So in keeping with the power creep that we're seeing at the moment, so she's an extremely strong hero straight away. If we do add the max power preview, so the limit breaks, second limit breaks, we're looking at over 1300 on the attack, nearly 1300 on defense, and nearly 2200 on the health. So she's going to be pretty hard to kill. Now, her special skill is the Rod of Torment, and she's running at fast speed. So at fast speed, Tenebrae will deal 395% damage to the target. I'm kind of glad she's a sniper, because with those stats, if she was hitting more than one, it would be just incredible, and I'm sure we're going to see that. But anyway, for now we haven't. So 395% damage to the target, which again, based on her stats, is going to be a pretty decent snipe, and running at fast speed. The target then gets soulbound for 3 turns, and this effect can't be cleansed. What is soul binding? Well, it explains it below. So all damage received by the caster is also dealt to soulbound enemies. Damage is also shared between all soulbound enemies, and this effect will not share damage. This effect will not share damage coming from other shared damage sources or counterattacks. Okay, so this is pretty self-explanatory, but if we break it down, the way it's going to work is once she targets the enemy, that target gets soulbound, and what that means is that that target is going to receive damage for all of the damage that she receives over the next 3 turns. Now, this effect is not as good as what we've seen with somebody like Quentin, for example. Quentin's is the complete inverse of this, where he gives the mark to the target, and the target takes damage for all damage that the enemies receive. So you can use them alongside as a great sniper alongside a hit all special, for example. And again, she's carrying along the theme that we saw with the recent War of Three Kingdoms hero, where the damage she receives is dealt to that enemy. Now, I think that there are ways that you can work around this, but to be fair, I don't particularly like any hero except for maybe counterattack heroes and damage reduction counterattack heroes, especially where they have to take damage for their effect to matter. So I'm not the greatest fan of this effect straight away. But I can see how it could be potentially useful. I mean, let's take a situation, for example, where Tenebrae is fully charged, and on the opposition team, you've got somebody like Khufu, fully charged. All right. So what you can do is you could target Khufu. Now, let's say your hit takes him down to half health, and then he fires. Obviously, his attack is going to then hit Tenebrae, and the attack is going to reflect the damage back to him, and he's probably going to suicide himself. So it's like almost like a really, really complicated way of doing a counterattack. I would much rather have a counterattack, especially if I had defense up at the same time. But this hero doesn't really have any protection. So the problem is that she's giving an effect which is going to cause, well, not her more damage, but it's not going to reduce anything that she receives. So she is technically just a single target sniper who gives poison damage. The after effect I don't think is going to be as effective in practice. So unfortunately, while I do really like the art on this hero, I just don't see her being an incredible hero, and I don't see her being used to extremely good effect in the game. Now, there are some other heroes in this portal who are featured, who are extremely good. So I mean, I don't say that it's not a portal that's worth summoning in. The Covenant summons are definitely some of the best summons in the game. So you've got Quinn in here. Quinn is an absolutely amazing hero, a great support hero. And yeah, he's also running at fast speed, and that pineapple barbecue. And I just love the way this guy looks as well. It's an incredible skill. He's one of the few enemies who gives the immunity to new status effect buffs for the team, and he boosts health at the same time as doing that. So really, really great hero, Quinn. You've got what the best featured hero from the Easter portal, Archie, Guardian Gazelle, who's one that, I mean, the costume is featured. This is one that I've always wanted, unfortunately not been able to get. And then recently featured Cardinal Richelieu, and also Gilak, who is an extremely good hero, really, really hard hitter, and can be underestimated. So I would go out on a limb and say that Tenebrae, to me, looks like the worst hero in this portal. And I would personally, definitely, I'd rather have some of the other heroes than I would her. Now, the one thing about the soul effect, the soulbound effect, which I haven't mentioned yet, is that, of course, this seems like it can be cast to multiple enemies. The thing is, how many times are you going to get to cast this during 3 turns? So if you have one soulbound enemy, you can do another soulbound enemy, and then they share the received damage, which is actually worse because they're taking less damage. So I'm not even sure that you would want to do that, even if you could. I mean, you could have a whole team of Tenebrae, maybe that's the plural, and you could put this effect on the whole enemy team, but then, they're just going to share the damage, and it's just going to not really work as well as you want it to. So yeah, not the hugest fan of this hero, unfortunately. So that's pretty much all I've got to say about Tenebrae. I do love these other heroes in the portal, so I wish you guys all of the best of luck if you are going to drop some pulls in this portal. Please do drop me a like and subscribe if you find the videos helpful. And also let me know in your comments what you think about Tenebrae, and whether you think I've got it completely wrong, or whether you agree that she's just a bit of a lackluster construct hero like we often see with the dark element heroes. So yeah, that is it for now. Wish you guys all the best, and I'll see you all again in the next video. Bye for now.